Reddit is known to have its fair share of cesspits dotting the website. For whatever reason, Reddit just brings out the stupidity in a lot of people, especially when by design Reddit flocks idiots together into little groups to fester like abhorrent diseases. However, there's one in particular that I keep seeing break into popular now and again. r/truerateme is a board based on providing facial ratings of both men and women based on objective factors such as harmony, sexual dimorphism, symmetry, and qualities of their features. I'm sure you already know why this community is a terrible idea. Trying to rate a person objectively is impossible, as different cultures, groups, and people have big differences in what they find attractive. Yet these people made a fucking guide on how to rank a human being. But we'll look into that later. As first, I want to show you guys the complete absurdity of this subreddit. How it typically works is that a person posts a handful of pictures to this subreddit so that people in the comments can objectively rate them. Almost always it's a woman that posts their pictures, but every now and again you see a guy. I think the poster to commenter demographic is really important to understanding the dynamic of this subreddit. Most people asking for reviews are female, and most people rating are men. Man, what a great idea. I don't see any way that this could go wrong, especially on Reddit. But without further ado, let's hop into r/truerateme. I think the best way of jumping into a subreddit is looking at their top posts of all time. So that's exactly what we'll do. Starting off with this lovely lady, I want to show you what a typical comments section looks like on r/truerateme.
6.9. I'd rate higher because you're one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen, but I don't feel like getting banned today.
Dude, bro's down bad, holy hell. 8.5. Stunning beauty, great symmetry. Warning for overrating. Rule 1. Please review the subs wiki, women's guide, and women's primer.
7.1 or higher. The scales are off, but you have tipped them over, my lady.
Warning for overrating. Rule 1. Please review the subs wiki, women's guide, and women's primer. I think the most telling thing about this subreddit is that in every thread you go, the top comment is always being warned for overrating. This really shows a disconnect between the moderators and the actual people in the subreddit reviewing these posts. All we have to do is look at the rules to understand why these people keep getting warned. The r/truerateme rules starts with rule number 1. Rate inflating. Rate inflating to the point that a rating is not objective is prohibited and will actually result in a ban as determined by the mods. You heard me right, guys. If you tell a woman that you think she's pretty and the mods disagree, you get the f out of here, asshole. There's no room for you here in this subreddit. I don't want you to think that it's just the mods who are the delusional people here. The commenters also play a huge role in this subreddit's stupidity. Moving on to the next thread, you could see that this girl posted a picture of herself to be rated. However, she made a huge mistake. She wore makeup. And in r/truerateme, that is a no-no. The comments were being so douchey that the mods actually stepped in to condemn their behavior, but they got downvoted in the process. Real quick, I just want to show you some of these comments that this girl got. Granted, I understand that maybe this subreddit that makeup is frowned upon or whatever, I just see one glaring issue in that. Now, yeah, you could say she could have went overboard with the eyelashes, her lipstick was not good. A lot of the comments, however, didn't really care about that, and some even liked her the way she was. So that kind of makes it a little bit confusing. And here, let me explain why for you. For argument's sake, let's just say that the woman I pictured here is a 6.9 on the woman's scale or whatever. There's these two individuals here who are looking at her trying to rank her. So let's look at the first guy, right? He's looking at this woman, and yeah, he likes her nose ring, but he absolutely despises her makeup. He's just not a person that likes makeup on women. He thinks it's excessive and just doesn't care for it at all. So he brings her down to a 5.0. That's pretty far down. Okay, so the second guy, he actually likes her makeup. He finds that e-girl aesthetic pretty cool or whatever. But he just isn't a big fan of nose rings. He doesn't hate it or anything, it's just not his cup of tea. Well, so he just brings her down to a 6, which isn't that far from a 6.9. Both that example and the comments that I showed before paint this objective rating system as completely flawed. How can this ranking include preferential likes and dislikes? The proof is in literally every comment section on this subreddit. And look at this. This girl posted a selfie of herself on the subreddit, and she happens to have a septum piercing. What do you know? That brings her down to a f***ing 4.5. By definition of their damn guide, I think she would be a lot higher than that. She's a good-looking woman, and just because, ew, piercing, she's dropped down. How is that objective? And you can say,
Well, Dapcat, I think, objectively, piercings on a woman make her less attractive.
Even if every single person in that subreddit agrees,
That's a subjective opinion.
loads of people think piercings on women make them more attractive. Like literally, r/piercing has almost 3 times the members of r/trurateme. And now that we looked at examples of rating in action, I think it's time we actually take a full look at their ranking system, because I want you to grasp just how wild this subreddit gets. In order to get started, you need to know about the 3 guides: the TRM Women's Rating Guide, the TRM Rating Primer, and finally, the TRM Advanced Rating Primer. That's not even including the Men's Rating Guide as well. So this is the trurateme Women's Rating Guide. This is kind of like the essential thing that you need to learn to understand how to put women into categories of how attractive they are. First thing I want to point out though, it's kind of skewed differently than a regular 10 out of 10 list. Basically, it starts down here, these are the trolls or whatever, and then up here are the most prettiest, beautiful women alive. Everybody in the top tier is a supermodel. And then, we got models here as well. And this is kind of like how they're basing people's looks off of, is supermodels. I severely urge each and every one of you, take any of these names on this list, any of them in this top tier. You can go above, let's say like 6.5. Any of these names, just take any single one of them. Okay. Now what I want you to do, go into Google and you're going to type in their name without makeup. And look, they have curated pictures and everything, all that shit. But you need to find the one that they did not take for themselves. The one that like the paparazzi snuck somehow. You will find that they don't look like this. No, they don't look like this. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't think you should be holding normal people up to the standards of celebrities. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit heated. What I want people to understand though is that everybody wears makeup, and that's completely okay. It's not okay, however, to scold these women posting on the subreddit for wearing too much makeup. Meanwhile, they're literally celebrities whose job it is to look pretty. Celebrities, mind you, that have millions of dollars at their disposal to make their job easier. Something truly unsettles me about this community. I'm at a point where I just want to stop looking at the subreddit altogether. I just personally find it gross. I want to preface this by saying this is just my opinion, but what I feel that I've gathered from this community is that there's some weird joy that these people get from judging people and nitpicking their flaws. What's worse is that I feel a lot of people posting are using it as a form of validation, and it just feels sad to me. Ultimately, they really don't know you, and I know you guys know the old phrase, never judge a book by its cover. It's probably cliche, but it stands true still. But with that being said, I just want to ask you guys, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. This video took a lot of work, so better pay up. But anyway, with that being said, I'll see you later, alligator.